Hi and happy Saturday. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. It is a beautiful weather weekend where I am. And I wanted to come on and talk today about the weekend, specifically how I quit the weekend overeating, because it seems to be a common topic with the women that I work with. They struggle with overeating on the weekend. But before I get started, I just wanted to introduce myself. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Barbara St. Louis. I am a fitness and nutrition coach, also a former yo-yo dieter. But I work with women who are yo-yo dieters who have spent years dieting. I teach them how to eat, exercise, and live better so that they can break up with dieting and toss the scale. So let's talk about how I quit the weekend overeating, and just specifically what do I mean by weekend overeating. So this may sound familiar, and this was my scenario where I was gung-ho during the week, Monday through Friday. I'd plan out my meals. I was really meticulous about my eating. I brought my lunches to work, had healthy snacks. And then come Friday, I kind of let go of that plan and that structure. And I would fall into the trap of just overeating on the weekend. And then come Monday, I would feel guilty. I'd feel, disgusting about how I did over the weekend. And then I would restrict myself more over the week. And there was this constant cycle. So I had to figure out a way. And how did I quit that? Well, I'm going to share 3 things that I did. The first thing was I had to look at the underlying reason as to why I was doing that cycle. Why was I overeating on the weekend? And one of the top things I realized was that it was stress from a busy, stressful work week. And by the time Friday came along and I was restricting myself so much during the week, it was like my opportunity to let go and kind of just eat what I wanted. And although I practice moderation and balance a lot, I still felt like I let go sometimes a little too much. So I looked at the underlying reason and I realized a lot of times it was stress. And also I justified things because a lot of times during the weekend is filled with occasions and social gatherings. So I justified that it was just an opportunity to let go. So look at those patterns and try to figure out what those patterns are. Once you identified them, figure out those behaviors and maybe healthier behaviors or alternatives when you've identified those patterns. The second thing I did was I stopped following these strict, rigid meal plans, because a lot of times when you're following these meal plans or these strict diets, you've got this list of approved foods that you can eat and things that are off limits. They categorize foods as good or bad. And once you have those foods that are off limits, those are the ones that you end up craving or wanting more, and you feel deprived. So then by the time the weekend rolls around, you've lost control and you want to give in to that. And I stopped obsessively counting calories and tracking macronutrients to the gram because it just was a little bit too restrictive. So with the way that I eat now, there's no on track or off track. I allow myself to eat what I want. Of course, everything in moderation. So I still have some structure to the way that I eat. I allow myself to indulge. And the thing is that when you have that structure, so for me, my structure is that I make sure that I'm eating nutrient-dense meals most of the times. And then I allow those starchy carbs or those sugars or those fatty foods that I want. And I'm getting ahead of those cravings so that I'm not feeling deprived and then end up going all out and binging. The third thing that I did was I got rid of that idea of having a cheat meal or a cheat day. Because think about it, if you feel that you have to cheat on your diet or that you have to worry about going off track and you have a specified meal or day, something's missing from your diet, and that's not sustainable for life. I know this is a hard mindset to have because a lot of times you want to follow this strict, rigid plan because you feel like, okay, that's the way you're going to get results. But think about it. Yes, you're going to get results, but can you keep those results? And that's the thing that I emphasize, is that to have sustainable fat loss, you have to have habit change. And to have that habit change, you have to change your mindset away from this restrictive diet mentality. So most of all, allowing yourself those indulgences during the week and the weekend, so you don't have this specified time frame and you have that flexibility. So those are the tips that I have that have helped me quit that weekend overeating, where I had that cycle of binging and then trying to restrict myself. It's just basically, the key is consistency, moderation, and balance. So I focus day to day on making sure that I'm getting in nutrient dense meals. Most of my meals are high in protein, high in fiber, and then I sprinkle in those indulgences, and I have that flexibility in my eating. So I hope that this was helpful, and if it was, please comment, please share with your friends, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Talk to you soon.